Legacy Maker, the All Sports Network.
Is calling it quits
and just pulls away from everything that's going on in the game. I mean, that just completely turned the football world upside down. It really did.
No one saw this one coming. If you'd have told me, Darrell, if you'd have said, Darrell, Andrew Luck's going to retire this year, I laugh at you. I think that he, we started to get feelings, about a month or two ago that he would miss a lot of time. We've talked about it a couple of times on the show about him possibly missing time. We didn't think it was going to be this much time, Jay.
Gentlemen and Jake Wimby, thank you, Krebby. But yeah, for me, it's really baffling. It sets them back a bit. Jacoby Brissett is a great quarterback in his own right, but he runs that offense differently than what Andrew Luck. Everybody was definitely, doing fantasy. Andrew Luck is the fourth or fifth best quarterback out there. And then you got Marlon Mack, who, looking for the third down, receptions. He was definitely high up on that list, looking for Paris Campbell, along with Eric Ebron, coming off a Pro Bowl year, looking like he found his groove to be worthy of pulling that bust label off of him. And now, what do they do?
Well, it's a very interesting scenario. I got a lot of faith in Jacoby Brissett. We'll get into that a little bit when we talk quarterbacks here on our watch list segment. But Brissett, the year that he came into, or he became a Colt a few years ago when they traded for him after the injury, he didn't have a bad year. If you look at the numbers, he threw for 3,000 yards.
No, I'm not saying that it's a bad quarterback. I'm just saying it's not Andrew Luck.
Right. And see, that's the thing. You see it and you say to yourself, like, if, with it not being Andrew.
How about now, Jerry? Can you hear him?
Yeah, if you can hear me, Jerry, let me know. With that being said, Andrew Luck is a special type. He's a type. He's a once in a generation quarterback. You hear it all the time, but it's true. This team went to the playoffs 4 times in the 6 seasons that he played. He played the entire season.
Right. I mean, he had to have something because the Colts saw enough in him to get rid of Peyton Manning, who went on to win a Super Bowl with the Broncos. So he definitely had to have something. It just makes you, it raises so many different questions about A, players' mental health.
Right.
B, taking a quarterback that high now. We're talking about if Jameis Winston and or Mariota don't have a great season this year, that's 2 classes right there where you took quarterbacks 1 and 2 that were bust. What are you going to do? You got Goff, he led the Rams to the Super Bowl, but let's be honest, Goff did what McVay did. Sean McVay led the Rams to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Not Jared Goff.
I look at this and say to myself, I had a conversation.
What's up, Steven?
Had a conversation with a friend today. Actually, you had got a chance to sneak into this conversation. And, I think it's funny because a lot of people thinking, did Andrew Luck, he's leaving with a lot of money, $24 million. But it starts to make me wonder, with him leaving with this money, do you think that, them not fight, because other times the people left early, they fought for the money. Do you think that there's a little bit more going on than we are being told on the outside? Maybe the Colts are not covering something up because something doesn't feel right all the way, and I just feel like that they could be trying to stop a grievance.
I agree with you on that, but a team that we cover, there's a big grievance going on with the way that they take care of their players' health.
Right.
And yet it makes you wonder if there's something in the background that is not of the same realm. Because, he's been hurt. He's played hurt.
Right.
He's done what he had to do. maybe he just doesn't feel, not only mentally, because, listen to him talk, he's a special type of personality, maybe a little eccentric in a way. But then also, do you fall back on another thing because, his dad is a commissioner of the XFL?
You see, that's another thing, and I can't remember who brought that up. Somebody in our Legacy Maker group chat brought that up, and I thought it was funny because, I mean, it's a possibility. What if he is stepping back and just saying, "All right, take a chill pill for a while, let the Colts find who they need to find, and then become a face of an entire league." But I think that it could be a little bit of a stretch because I really do think he's hurt. Like, I think he's hurt, a little bit more hurt than people. That, not saying that he's letting on, but I think he's seriously thinking about his future. He's taking some brutal hits those first few seasons.
Oh yeah, he was a punching bag. I mean, but at the same time, in Jim Irsay's statement, Andrew Luck's given up $500 million.
Yes,
that's a lot of money, but. Talking to a colleague in our network earlier, they said, sometimes your health, especially your brain, football players go out there, they put their body on the line. That's why they make so much money.
Right.
But you go back just to junior sale.
Right. And that, if they don't think that the brain injuries have something to do with this just a little bit, it has to. I mean, I went back and looked at some of the injuries that he had, and the ones that got me the most, even though it may not, the shoulder. I mean, he has to throw that thing.
Well, but the shoulder is very similar to the same thing that Drew Brees had.
Yeah.
But Drew Brees came back, and he's almost 50 still playing.
That's true. I don't know what type of surgery he had, but he did phenomenal things with it.
One thing that worried me is, this offseason, it's been the high ankle sprains.
Right.
And it makes you go back to Game 3 of the NBA championship.
With Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant comes at just a high ankle sprain, play, done, torn Achilles.
Yeah, I mean,
and that is not something that you just bounce back from.
No, we know it's a whole year. He signs with the team. The Brooklyn Nets fans won't get a sniff of Kevin Durant till 2020. So
yeah, exactly, and it's just it just feels off. That's the only thing. I mean, like Steven said, I wish him nothing but the best.
Right.
He's a great human being. I mean, I love the fact he gets sacked and he'd be like, "Hey, good hit, bro.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it."
Yeah. I mean, one of the great sportsmen of the game understood it, but once again, gone before his time, like some other people that two of the people I can think off the top of my head, I agree. 100% Hall of Famers, and that's Calvin Johnson and Barry Sanders, which Barry's already in.
Right.
But do you think Andrew Luck is a Hall of Famer?
It's a tough one because when you brought it up, I went back and looked at the stats, and like I said, in his 4 playoff appearances in the 6 years, he comeback player of the year last year, 4-time Pro Bowler, and I wanna say it because of his I want to say because I like him that I think he should get in. But I don't know if it's enough. If you'd have gave me 2 to 3 more years of Andrew Luck playing at a high level, even if he retired then, I would probably say, yeah, I think he gets in. Even, it's almost like McNair. McNair had that toughness that he should be in for those who.
Oh, I'm not going to disagree with you on McNair. McNair is, McNair is a badass.
Right.
Always was. Would go out there and play, and he would leave everything that he had on that field.
And see, that's the way I feel about Luck. I mean, it's a different type, so I don't want people beating me up because I said it, but it's the same toughness.
McNair's not in, and no. I think he should be. I do not think Andrew Luck will ever get into the Hall of Fame.
I don't think with what he has on the statistic front right now that he can get in. If he had won a Super Bowl, maybe if he had won a Super Bowl in this time frame, I would probably think about it a little bit more. But because he didn't win a Super Bowl, and he got to the AFC Championship, but they got slaughtered in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And, the whole Deflategate kind of, even if they would have made it was just a whole bunch of mess. I don't know if it would have been enough for him to get in. And so for me, it would be a no. So with Cash and Trash that, I would trash that immediately.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No.
Okay, my bad.
You good, brother? You good?
I'm so sorry, sir.
It's okay, baby. We can do early. Gosh, you're trash. I do the voice and everything. It's all that good.
Well, it sounds better when computer does it.
When Austin's doing it, yeah, I know. So, man, before we get off this topic for good, whose fault is this? Is this the Indianapolis Colts' fault? One, for not getting him the pieces to protect him, in the beginning part of his career? Or, is it just, hey, this football life, it happens? Do you think that the Colts are at fault, or do you think it's something else?
50-50. Because, part of it is, not having the proper tools there for him. And they, on the defensive side of the ball, they are looking to be, I would say, top 5, top 7 defense. They go get Paris Campbell and a couple things here. They give him the talent, but if your heart is not in something, you are not going to dedicate. You're not going to give it. And I think that is a big reason why he's retiring.
Yeah, and I feel bad because I think the coach waited too late to make him to protect him. You saw what happened last year when he was protected. Just a great year for Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
But they finally get him this young, one of the best young centers in the league. You bring in Quentin Nelson, and they were just the better offensive line. One of the solid, one of the best left tackles in the game. It's crazy to see that Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, it's heartbreaking, especially, if you're OJ and you draft him, first round or second round, and you had him in fantasy.
Well,
but talking from a fantasy point of view, that anybody that even T.Y. Hilton that you had up there,
it drops.
They drop exponentially.
Well, I got Marlon Mack, and he's the running back. Why you giggling?
Because I don't care if you got Quentin Nelson in front of you or not. You put 8 in the box, you're not going nowhere.
So I got Marlon Mack, and Marlon Mack, when I drafted him, was ranked 21.
Did you get him in the 3rd round?
I don't know. It was maybe a Smith, maybe 3rd or 4th. But he was ranked 21 at the running back position. Now he's dropped all the way to 42 on Yahoo, and I'm like, man, come on, bro.
Because his value as that 3rd down back.
Yeah.
And Jacoby Brissett, I didn't get a chance to look, but he is one of those guys that will tuck and run to get you the first down.
Yeah.
Legacy Maker, the All Sports Network.